do what else we have to do. It
True.
always works out. All right. So I'm gonna start. It's Thursday, and I'm gonna start with a video. I'm gonna start with a video I saw on Facebook this week, and I saved it. And then we're gonna go into Christ letters.
Okay.
I hope I still have it. And this is a video. This is supposedly someone is channeling somebody from a higher realm. And there's a lot of these video available on Facebook. And I only share the one that I feel within me. I feel something from it.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I really feel something because, there's a lot of people channeling. Higher beings are trying to, we're in this grand awakening, and higher beings are trying to channel to us um, the way, the path. It's like cheerleading for us to wake up, wake up, wake up, Earth, wake up, Earth. Because remember, we're just in our real self. We are just as them. We're spiritual beings, We're just like Christ was. We're all
Yeah.
brothers. And, as my sister know, the law of one. The law of one. We all come from that one.
Yes.
No matter where we find ourselves, we all come from that one. And just to
True.
say, today's the summer solstice, right? I think today's the summer,
Yeah, the longest day.
the longest day. So there's
Yes.
some good energy coming in to Earth. It's the longest day, so we're gonna tap into it. Um, we just tap into that good energy. I don't know how to, but I just happened to see that it was the longest day, and it has to be a good thing. Has to be a good,
Yes. Yes, it is. It's a
yeah,
good thing.
yeah.
Our seeds, we greet you with excitement and love. I am Kaylin. Today, we emphasize the importance of focusing on your cognition and mental clarity during this period of ascension. As numerous shifts unfold and changes ripple through various dimensions of your existence and earthly experiences, clarity is extremely important. Trusting your own mind and thoughts, and allowing the divine essence within, whatever name you ascribe to it, your soul, the creator, or your higher self, to fully engage with your mental realm is the next step.
So sis, this had me thinking. Your soul and your higher self.
Oh, is
Mm,
it?
that's what she says. He says, whatever you want to call, let me
Your
replay it.
soul,
Your soul, your higher self, or something else. So whatever you want, we're just giving
creator.
this
I think she said creator.
our creator. So it
Your
seems
soul.
we're just giving the same thing, different names.
Hmm. That's
Mm,
interesting.
that's interesting. When I heard it, sis, I'm like, wow. Yeah, let's start again so we can start it again.
And love. I am Kaylin. Today, we emphasize the importance of focusing on your cognition and mental clarity during this period of ascension. As numerous shifts unfold and changes ripple through various dimensions of your existence and earthly experiences, clarity is extremely important. Trusting your own mind and thoughts, and allowing the divine essence within, whatever name you ascribe to it, your soul, the creator, or your higher self, to fully engage with
You see that?
Your soul, the creator, or your
Or
higher
your higher
self.
self.
Hmm.
Mm. I thought that was three different things. The soul.
But the soul and the creator, um, mm, I find that one interesting.
Yeah, I
I have
find
to
that
think
one
about that
interesting.
one.
Yeah, and I would have thought this. I could see the soul and the higher self as one,
But not the creator.
but not the creator. Or is it the creator of us? I'm not sure. We have to get that somewhere else to understand it. I heard this. I'm like, oh, I'm not saying she's wrong. It's new to us. So and as I know the universe, when we have a question about something, it always sends us clarity. But
Yes.
she's saying, until we get clarity, we're just gonna assume, because I would more assume that the soul and our higher self is the same thing. I never
Yeah,
thought that. Go
but she
ahead.
say there's three different things though. She didn't say they're equal as one. So at each name, she said soul, creator, and higher self. So that's three different individual, which
Yeah,
is
but she said, I think she said, whatever you want to call it. Call it says go within,
yeah.
and call upon whatever you want to call it. So I'm assuming she's assuming that whatever is within, um, that's what she's talking about. I don't know. She said go
Hmm.
within. Let me see right here.
Here you go within, but I don't think you would call it the soul.
earthly experiences. Clarity is extremely important. Trusting your own mind and thoughts, and allowing the divine essence within.
The divine essence within. The
Okay.
divine essence within.
Whatever name you ascribe to it.
Whatever name you ascribe
Mhm.
to it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The divine essence within, whatever name you ascribe to it.
Okay. Okay. I'll call it the source.
Soul.
Yeah, we call it the source, but sometimes I'm calling on my higher self. Like, my higher self is my soul. But does it matter in the long run? It probably doesn't even matter what we want to call it. What do you think, sis?
Huh? I have to listen to exactly where she going with this.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's saying go within, and all right, so we'll continue, see where she goes with it.
Yeah.
And changes ripple through various dimensions of your existence and earthly experiences. Clarity is extremely important. Trusting your own mind and thoughts, and allowing the divine essence within, whatever name you ascribe to it, your soul, the creator, or your higher self, to fully engage with your mental realm is the next step for many of you at this time. To master your mind, it's often advised to let negative, judgmental, or lower vibrational thoughts simply pass through without
See what we talked about yesterday,
Y-
sis?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
reaction.
All right, so when I stop, let me come
Whatever name you ascribe to it, your soul, the creator, or your higher self, to fully engage with your mental realm is the next step for many of you at this time. To master your mind, it's often advised to let negative, judgmental, or lower vibrational thoughts simply pass through without reaction. Many of you may recognize a significant portion of your thoughts leaning towards negativity, judgment, or limitation. While this perspective may feel familiar, it may not foster spiritual growth, ascension, or alignment with your highest potential. Now, There are many of you who are receiving overflow of the carnal mind or the collective mind, so it's really important to develop mental practices to allow these thoughts to pass by freely without assigning emotion to them.
Let me tell you, you see how accurate the Christ letters are?
Yes. Uh-huh. You
You
have to
see,
let go of ego, self.
oh my gosh,
Mhm.
sis.
Yeah.
When I heard this, it's like the
It's
Christ letters,
connecting.
it's connecting to everything. And you're gonna hear some people saying the exact thing what, especially what me and you talked about yesterday and what
Yes.
we read in the Christ letters. Yeah, that thoughts and emotion. Yeah, that negative thought, that judgmental thought, that carnal mind. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it said don't apply emotions to it. And we have to understand whether we apply good emotion or bad emotion, it's still emotion. And
True.
when you apply that emotion, like when it's gonna create. It takes
But
to it. Yeah, go ahead, sis.
no, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so when you apply that emotion to that carnal thinking, that what kind of thinking she said, that that carnal, that selfish, that kind of thinking that we she just mentioned. When we apply emotions to it, judgmental, that kind of thinking that's going through our mind all the time. When we apply emotion to it, that's when it creates and it comes into our reality and reap all kind of havoc.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The collective mind is a swirling mass of thoughts and energies given off by the collective of humanity. The larger an item becomes, the more electromagnetic energy it gives off.
Mm.
There you go.
For
Mm.
example, the Sun has a much larger gravity field than the Earth because of its size and some of its properties. This is the same when it comes to your mind and the collective mind. You are going to feel the effects of it. Gaia, like all planetary consciousnesses, has an electromagnetic shield, so too can you build one. This is what we are referring to today, and we will give you a practice in a moment. The key lies in acknowledging and observing your thoughts, both
Mm.
positive and negative,
Mm.
without energizing them unnecessarily.
Mm.
This process is about conscientiously selecting which thoughts to empower and amplify, and
Yes.
so it is going to take some practice if you are not already in the habit of this.
Mhm.
When you react to and accept a thought as your own, you inadvertently energize it.
Mm.
Even
Oh,
verbalizing or sharing a thought reinforces its energy.
Mm. You see how sickness and disease creates a,
yeah. Your
yeah.
thoughts and what you speak.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And not just sickness, it's lack or,
L-
anything, disappointment,
Everything.
everything. Yeah.
Everything. When they say we create our reality, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
When the
Mm-hmm.
Christ letters say we create our reality, this is how we do it. And it's like there's no other way. This is the key. This is if we want anything, this is the blueprint, as they would say.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is the blueprint. There's no other way, there's no way around it. This is it.
Trusting your mind, therefore, means being aware of your thoughts' energy, their origins, their truthfulness, and whether they foster liberation or impose limitations.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
By
Yep.
sensing the
They,
energy of each thought,
you know what that is? That bonding, that liberation and that limitation is that bonding and rejection.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's what the Christ letters call that. But that's the form of magnetism which represents that feminine energy. So when she said, make sure your thoughts are liberation or limitation, free or
Oh,
bondage.
bondage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
much like feeling another person's aura, you can unravel and transform them as needed.
See?
We emphasize the importance of choosing which thoughts to empower and understanding their energetic essence. Sometimes a thought simply remains as it is without deeper implications, and that's perfectly acceptable. Avoid delving too deeply. Instead, maintain awareness and contemplate. Try this simple practice to help you both observe your thoughts and start to master them. You cannot turn off your thoughts. It would be like trying to stop the sun by yourself, but you can direct their energy. Find an appropriate space for a quick meditation and set the intention to gain mastery over your mind. Close your eyes and take a number of deep breaths until you are completely relaxed and centered. Tune into your thoughts from the standpoint of being a neutral observer, watching yourself in meditation. Every time you have a thought, assemble a golden bubble around it and watch it float from your meditating self, soaring out of sight into the atmosphere. If you feel an emotion come up surrounding a thought, say to yourself quickly, "No, this is not me. I am not my thoughts. I am a soul using this body." For those with an active mind, you may have to do this a lot initially.
I have an active mind.
Yeah, me too. I'm a warrior.
Me
Hi.
too.
Once you
Gotta let it go. Yes,
Me too.
yes.
I have
Oh
a
my
very
goodness.
active mind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Boy,
So
she
it's
talking
hard.
about me for sure.
Yeah, me too.
have done this a little while and you feel your thoughts doing this by themselves, merge back with your meditating body. It's now time to move into the contemplative stage. From here, we recommend you start to think about how Prime Creator is working in all of existence. How before you even woke from your sleep today, everything was already in place for a perfect day.
Wow.
Mhm.
Mm.
The sun had risen, the stars have gone from the sky, all the animals are being provided for, the trees are receiving their sunlight, the grass and forests are being fed their nutrients.
Wow.
All this had already begun before you started your day, and you didn't have to do any of it. Prime Creator is taking care of all of it for everyone's highest good.
Yes.
Think about how this is happening around you specifically, and then think about how this has also taken place in the neighboring town, city, province, or state. Now scale out and think about this countrywide. Now go even bigger and imagine how Prime Creator is also doing this on billions of other worlds, real time. Now return your thoughts to you and your physical vessel. Imagine the brilliance of Prime Creator working in you and your body. Over the last 60 seconds, there have been hundreds of thousands of miracles taking place in your body in the same way. You haven't had to take a single thought to make any of it happen. Oxygen has been extracted from the air, cells have been moved around your body, your heart has pumped liters of blood, and much, much more. Now let go of it all. Take 3 deep breaths and realize that you don't have to worry about a thing. Prime Creator is taking care of everything, and you can give it all up to God. By doing this practice enough times, you should start to feel your thoughts slowing down, and many of you will experience a complete disappearance of them. Practice this meditation daily and share your positive results with others. Starseeds, when you start to navigate your reality from a place of inner peace and clarity, you become attuned to the truth of the Creator within every situation, person, and circumstance. This alignment dissolves blockages and facilitates extensive spiritual growth, not just a quietening of the mind. We trust that this meditation will serve you well. We are with you and we witness you. We wish you infinite love and the promise of a new dawn. I will speak with you all again soon. I am Kaylin.
Wow.
Mm,
Wow.
yeah. When it says take no thought, oh my God. When it says take no thought in what you should eat, what you should drink,
What you should wear.
what you should wear, uh, it seemed like we're just overthinking, we're over worrying. Mm,
I believe we should take no thoughts for nothing really. I
nothing
mean,
at all.
because the source is within us. It's
Mhm,
within and it's already provided, which
mhm.
is true because by the time we wake up, the birds is outside singing, the trees is
Yeah.
already, replenished and,
Mhm.
all that.
Yeah. Everything already done. Our
It's
blood
done.
said our heart pump how much liters of blood, or our kidneys getting ready to filter out toxicity out of us. Everything's taken care of.
Yeah.
Everything's taken care of.
I don't know why it's so hard for us to not not being able to let go and just release and let go. It's
Oh,
so hard.
yeah. It's our programming. It's our programming. It's our programming.
I'm going to get there, and it's not going to take me long because
Yeah,
I'm getting it.
we have to fight because that's where everything is, sis. Everything we want, everything we hope for. And I remember reading the Bible when I was going to church, and it said, there's a scripture said, which one of you worried can add or take away anything from you?
True.
Our worry
No
doesn't
one.
do anything for us. We can't
Make
help
us sick.
things
Make us sick.
that make us sick.
It make us sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that it does. If
Mm-hmm.
we worry about tomorrow, what can we do about it? Nothing.
Mm-mm. I'm trying to and this is why this is helping me because I am trying to uh accept the now, right now. Not,
Me
you
too.
know, hours from now, just right now, this moment,
Now
you
time.
know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
if you're trying to meditate, that's how I do it, even my meditation, to keep my thoughts, because it just keep going. Just
Oh.
keep saying now time, right here, right here, right here,
Mhm.
right here.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, because this mind just keep going.
It
Even
runs
when you're
like a
not worrying,
train. I know, right? It
yeah,
can't be still.
stand be still. All right. So we're gonna dive into some, not a lot of the Christ letters, but there's something I just wanted to do today because we
Okay.
cut it short on Saturday.
Saturday. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is what I'm gonna start with all the time because this one this is one of the fundament what we're going over here is one of the fundamental secrets of the universe. This is how everything is healed. This is how we receive our blessing. This is how we get everything that we hope for, that we would like. And it's the ego. And I did a video of the ego. I was just yesterday just came to it. The ego was that the tree of good and evil.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is a tree of good and evil that was in the garden. Because you want to call it self, people say, "Oh, it's flesh, it's carnal." You can call it whatever it want, but
It's still an ego.
it's still an ego because it's guess what? It's part of us. It's
Mm-hmm.
part of us, and it's the ones causing all the stuff we find ourselves in our lives. This ego. So so I'm always gonna start with right here because if we can understand this right here, if we can
Right.
understand what Christ is saying in these first two passages about the ego, then we can understand who we are. And in understanding who we are, we learn, at least try. And we are gonna try to control
Mm-hmm.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it says, I saw that the core of the personality of ego, as it is now called, had been created guardian. It's the guardian of the personality and was irresistibly imprinted with the magnetic impulse to ensure privacy and survival. So remember the magnetic impulse. Every time you see magnetic things, think of feminine, think of mother,
Mm-hmm.
feminine and mother. And this ego was created, imprinted with the magnetic impulse for privacy, for our privacy and our survival, because our thoughts are private.
Yes.
And our ego give us protection. It's always trying to protect us, you know. And we hear somebody talk something bad about us, our ego's gonna try, you know, listen, there's something that's in us. Why are you talking bad about us? You know, that's what the ego, it's a natural part of us. We can't get rid of it. That's the thing. We can't get rid of this ego.
But you can discipline it.
That's our job, to discipline it,
Mm-hmm.
because it creates an illusion. It's the
Mm-hmm.
illusion that part of it that's bringing us down. It creates a false sense of security. You know, it has to line up with the feminine aspect of us, the mother consciousness aspect of
Mm-hmm.
it. It has to. And we can't get rid of it. We can't. As my sister said, we have to discipline it.
Mm-hmm.
We have to discipline that ego. Ego, I look at it, says, and that's why it's so selfish. That's why this ego is so selfish, because it's always trying to protect us and not in the right way. That ego always come up. I, me.
It's me or I,
I.
me or I, me or I, me or
Me,
I.
yeah, and don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about
Mm-hmm.
anyone else. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, so we have to let it know, discipline it and let it know that it's not just us, it's everybody else. Okay, so as we said, it was created by the feminine aspect of us, a part of the source, magnetic impulse, and magnetic that represents um feminine, that also represents mother, and it also did I say magnetism?
Uh,
Magnetism, mother,
mm-hmm.
and emotions. Emotion, that magnetic, that just like how we are as feminine beings. That's how we should always think about the Godhead, the mother and the father, as the mother being that protection, that emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For the protection of the individual I-ness, this was accomplished by using the two faces. And the individual I-ness we get from the masculine aspect of us, our father, the electricity. Um, for the protection of that individuality, the individuality. All these were created for us. This was accomplished by using the two faces of the second impulse of being, bonding and rejection, to
Mhm.
secure our individuality.
Mhm.
That bonding and rejection always represents the mother as the feminine aspect of us. The phase of bonding drags. This is what we have to understand. The face of bonding drags, draws, attracts, demands, pulls, buys, grabs, clutches, clings to the people and the possession it craves.
Mhm.
This impulse creates an illusion of security in togetherness and possessions. It is the tool of mother consciousness inspiring building of families, communities, and nations. This is what bonding should be. This is what bonding should be, inspiring the building of families, communities, and nations. This is what bonding should be, should
Mhm.
be. When ego is operating in the right way, this is what bonding should be. Not this one up here. Demands, attracts, pulls, grabs, clutches, clings to people and possession. It craves. This is the illusion up here.
The negative,
The
yeah, the
negative. This is
negative
what the
side.
ego
Yeah.
does. Yeah. This
Mhm.
is what the ego does. So
Mhm.
if you find yourself drags and draws, attracts, demands, pulls, you're buying all those stuff to make you feel comfortable, make you feel secure, clutches and you clings to people and possession that you crave, that the ego
Mhm.
crave, that the ego crave. This is the illusion the ego does. This is all illusion. Because what the bonding, what we should be doing is inspiring the building of families. And this is what this is a hard one for us, the families. If you find you're in spite of what our families are, that ego aspect of us always have to always want to see a togetherness, always. That because when you're getting this impulse of, you know what, I want my family to be together in spite of who they are, you know, always get it in touch, always trying to work things out. That's what we should really be. This is what the our mother consciousness, our the magnetic impulse, that feminine aspect of us, always that's a part of bonding and lift, not just in lifting up our families but communities and other nations. So what we're seeing here, what we're seeing happening on earth, it's nothing that we created to be. You know, we don't see families of divorces at the highest rate ever right now
Yeah.
because everything
Mhm.
is so egotistical. Yeah, and don't even talk about communities. You know, I have neighbors, they talk to me this week, next week they be like, they don't even know. So those are just egotistical attitudes. So this is what, if we not feeling building families, communities, and nations within us, whatever else we're feeling is egotistical. Is egotistical. Listen, this is it. This is all part of creation. And
Mhm.
this is it. There's no other way. There's no other way. Because if you're not building this, you're building something else over here. That's an illusion. And your life suffers from it.
True. True.
That's the bad thing about this. If we're not building according to that divine source, according to what giving, going within and giving everything to the God within us. This is what happened when we give everything to the God within us. We build families, and in building families, we build communities, and in building communities, we build nations.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anything that's not these, it's our ego in overdrive. And it says it can be productive of beauty, joy, harmony, and love. It can
Mm-hmm.
also, see what it does? It also wreck
Wreck lives.
and
Yeah.
destroys communities when it is ego driven.
Mm-hmm.
Ego driven. That's so when you see bonding and rejection, this is what it should represent. Beauty, joy, harmony, and love. It can also wreck lives when it is ego driven. And when it is ego driven, it drags, it
Yeah.
demands, it
It
pulls,
attracts.
it
Mm-hmm.
attracts, it clutches, it clings to,
Mm-hmm.
to people and possession it craves. Yep. So that's what bonding is. So when you hear bonding, it's it's just an impulse of magnetism of mother consciousness, if you want to say mother consciousness. But remember, everything is energy. I know we personalized everything. We are electromagnetic beings. And electricity represents the masculine aspect of us, our father, and magnetism represents the feminine aspect of us, our mother. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, this is so deep that I have to I'm gonna read it every time I read the Christ letters just to remind us. Okay. And the face of rejection, remember magnetism, it's bonding and rejection. It repels, it thrusts aside, pushes away, evades. I like evades everything. People, animals, possession, it does not want. That's still talking about the ego.
Yeah.
Still talking
Yeah.
about the ego because it represents the feminine aspect of us. It represents the the mother consciousness. It represents magnetism. So it's bonds and it rejects. It's a bonding and rejection. And when it rejects, it thrusts aside, pulses, pushes away, evades everything. So if we find ourselves today trying to evade people, push things away, to create a sense of security, you know what? I'm not going to talk to that person. Especially for me, I remember days I didn't drive on the highway because it was too scary, and I'm just going to take the long way around. I'm not going to do that. You know, it's just my ego at work. We try to evade everything. You know, anything you do not want, you try to evade it. That's the
True. You
impulse
push
of
it
rejection.
away.
You push it away, and that's
Mm-hmm.
not. And it says thus the impulse of rejection creates an illusion of privacy and security. So it's just an illusion because your energy is not growing when you do all that. We're here to grow. We're here to create the life we want to live. So not because we're avoiding stuff, that doesn't mean we're okay. It's just a false sense of security by our ego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this, if it is the impulse that urges rifts in families, relationships, communities, and nations. So all everything you see happening in our nation, it's just ego driven, egotistical leaders and all that. This is not what we were created to do.
Not at all. Because
Not
even with the war that's going on, that's
hmm
just pure ego.
all ego,
Just pure male ego.
male ego. hmm It's all ego. It's, mhm. What was it geared to? Why was it created? Why was this rejection created? The real reason why it was created, it was geared to saving lives, ensuring protection and privacy. This is what the the impulse of rejection. Um, because I remember when we read when after everything the was in chaos, what mother what the magnetic impulse was doing when that electricity will go out to create that mother impulse will bond to whatever impulse the father god or electricity, making sure if father sent a negative impulse, she had a positive impulse to it, and her job is to keep stop making don't no her job
Balance him. Yeah.
balancing, not
Yeah.
making a positive and a positive together and a
Right.
negative and a negative together. That's how she saves lives. That's the rejection of it. Taking away the things that's not supposed to be, and balancing. Everything has to be in balance. So the impulse of rejection, it doesn't mean rejecting anything. It is just geared at saving lives and ensuring protection and privacy. That's what that impulse was
Mm-hmm.
meant to do. But it is a destructive force when it is ego driven. When it is ego driven.
Me, 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 me,
Me,
me.
me. Yeah,
I.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No. Without these twin impulses, there would be no interplay of give and take and pull and push necessary to the creation of the millions of personal experience out of which personality grows and evolves. Therefore, the problem of personality and the ego drive endured by all living things and mankind was, is an irrevocable, unavoidable fact of creation. Any other explanation is pure myth.
Mm.
Pure myth. So, therefore, the problem of personality and the ego drive endured by all living things and mankind was, is an irrevocable, unavoidable fact of
Act of creation.
it's just part of us. And it's not just in human beings, it's
It's
in
plants, it's animals, it's insects,
everything,
every living thing.
every living thing. The only bad thing is that it's probably working properly in them,
Than
and
it
it's
is in us.
that it is in
Yeah.
that it is in us. It's working fine for the animals and the birds and and the trees, but us, and it comes back to take no thought, because they just do what they came here to do. That masculine, feminine impulse in the plants and the animals is just working. It's just doing what it's supposed to do. There is no hindrance. The trees doing what it's supposed to do. The animals, the sun is doing what the moon is doing, whatever it's supposed to do.
There's no ego trip.
There's no there's no
Eh,
ego.
uh-uh.
There's no ego except when it comes to us. Except when it comes to us. And listen, there's no other explanation. Any explanation than this is just myth.
Myth.
And out of this ego arrives sin. This is it. This is what Christ is saying. I saw that when men call sin was the direct what men call sin was the direct results of the interplay of bonding rejection impulses within human nature. So this is what they call sin.
Impulse.
The impulse within human nature. It's when we use our ego for selfish things. Because when we go and take somebody's um car, so that's all selfish. That's just that ego working in that overdrive state of illusion where you think you stealing somebody's gonna keep make you feel secure and make you feel good. And when you do that, you don't. So everything we call sin is just the natural part of us not working the way it was created to work. You know, anything we what else they call sin. If you're angry enough that you go kill somebody, it's your ego drive. What in you that think if you kill somebody, are you gonna feel secure? Are you gonna feel okay after you do it? You know,
It's just an ego. The
it is
ego.
the
The
ego.
ego. Hmm.
It's self trying to protect self. You know, it's trying to protect self by creating an illusion. You know, oh, I'm not gonna talk to my family. Well, you cannot talk to your family if you want, but make sure there's no unforgiveness there, you know. But oh, I'm gonna buy all these things in my house. I'm gonna go out and you hoard because you think every day you going shopping and shopping and shopping because you think you're gonna give you a sense of security every time you go out, and that's why it's an addiction.
Hmm. False
You-
sense of security.
False sense of
Yeah.
security.
Yeah.
Everything that we do to feel sick, it's an illusion if it's not done by what it was created to do.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a false sense of security. You know,
I'm guilty of that.
uh,
I say I'm guilty of that.
hey, hey, we can see ourselves in all of these. We're just learning about it. We weren't taught.
True.
We
That's
went
true.
on. And I hear a lot of I forgot that man I told you about, Bruce. I think his last name is
Lipton. Lipton.
Lipton, Bruce
Yeah.
Lipton. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that's his message. Please go follow Bruce Lipton. He tell you what
Mm-hmm.
what what did the earth and our doctors been doing. They're fixing one aspect of the divine creation. They're fixing the body, but they're not fixing the thought. You
Hmm.
know, that's the source. That's the source of all our illness.
Yeah. And your thoughts is the one that you need to repair.
Yes, your
Yeah.
body, your
Mm-hmm.
body. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Repair your thoughts, and then you please, if you hear this message, please listen to him. He explains it way better than I do, but it lines up exactly with what we're talking here. You're gonna think you're listening to the Christ letters when you listen to this man because that's why, and I don't know if it was done intentionally, they take out the feminine aspect of us totally out of the Bible. A woman is so this and that because and bringing us out of equilibrium. Nothing is balanced. And this magnetism, it's part of creation. It wasn't just electricity, it's electricity and magnetism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to create a balance. Well, it
It,
is a balance.
it is a
Yeah.
balance. It
Yeah.
is a
It's a
balance.
balance.
It is a
Mm-hmm.
balance, but they don't talk about. So, according to Bruce Lipton, they're fixing the body. Oh, your heart rate, you this and you that. Where is that coming from? What's the source? How can you fix anything without know what the source of it? If something is happening, if to somewhere why that caused the heart, the body to to be out of whack, something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta fix the source.
That's why they talk about mental illness. You know,
Uh-huh.
they saying, oh, there's so much mental illness because they're not going to the root of the
Mm,
thought.
yeah, they're not.
Then they just Or
They're
we
not.
just give you some medication and either you become a zombie or you just go out and
Mm-hmm.
keep doing stupid stuff. And that's just
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
mm,
And you see too, we have that mentality. We want that quick fix. We don't want to do the work because our ego is telling us we've been led by our ego because our ego don't want to do the work. And our ego is telling us, oh, just do this and you'll feel okay. And then you
mhm,
take one pill for 8 hours, and then the next 8 hours, you got to take another one. And
mhm.
some people become addicted.
Yeah. And some of them, they take the pill, they don't even believe that the pill will do anything. They just take it. Just take it without a cause. Just
Yeah,
take it.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. And that's what we're gonna keep talking about, the twin impulses of bonding and rejection.
Rejection.
Bond
Mhm.
and rejection and our ego. And it works with our ego creating a false sense of security. And and so let's start right here. Yeah. So man's inbuilt impulses to protect his own individuality. Man's inbuilt impulses to protect his own individuality had made him to set up rules and laws for human society. The universal creative power, love, had absolutely nothing to do with the setting up of human restrictions, limitations, laws, and judgment. I also saw that the Father Mother creative power life continually flowed through all the universe and was the life in my mind using the twin impulses of thought and feeling.
And feelings.
Yeah, so this is, if you believe in Christ and you talk about, this is Christ talking. He's just explaining, I just get from these letters, he's just trying to tell us that we're not different from him. He's the same source that created us, created him. He was given an understanding of creation so he can leave it to us, so he can tell others. So this is what he's trying to tell us. He's trying to open our minds to who we are. It was nothing, I'm not going to say it was miraculous, but it was nothing that we aren't capable of.
Mhm.
He
So,
understood, yeah, he understood creation. He understood creation. That's why he knew how to heal. That's why he understood how we can be healed. And that's what he was able to heal others. Everything energy, energy.
mhm.
So he's saying the Father, Mother, creative power, life continually flowed. And yes, I'm gonna get, oh, Christ didn't call say Father, Mother. And in the Christ letter, I tell you, he said Father because of the Jewish culture. He just didn't want to create another aspect, another rejection to his teachings and created another havoc because when he was teaching, he knew how they felt about women. But for his ministry to be more acceptable, he just referred to Father. He just referred to Father. So he said the Father, Mother, creative power, life continually flowed through all the universe and
Mhm.
was the life in my mind using the twin impulses of thought and feeling.
Mhm.
Hence, any powerful, imperfect thinking and feeling could disturb and change the consciousness pattern of creative things.
The things.
Yeah. This is how we're saying our thoughts create our reality.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, any powerful, imperfect thinking and feeling, this is how we create, could disturb and change the consciousness pattern of created things. And let me tell you, I'm going to mention, we call it obia and voodoo and all that. Let me tell you, sometimes I believe this is what they were doing. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. So you, with your thought and your feeling, you can and remember, everything is conscious.
Yeah.
Everything is conscious. So with your thoughts and your feeling,
You create something.
you create and you can disturb some things. You can change some things.
But I think that goes with the saying that whatsoever man thinking is hard, so is
Mhm.
he.
So is he. So is he. So is he. And you see how Christ's healing was taking place. He was able to change matter, you know. He just with his thinking and his feeling, and when he said, your faith has made you whole.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that person too is believing in Christ, knowing the power of the thought and the love he felt for the people, can change matter, can change things, change
Mm-hmm.
things within us, and so can we. That's
I
why
believe
we,
that.
yeah, that's why we can create any environment, that anything, anywhere we find ourselves now, that's we created. We created. I know it's hard to think that we did it. When I first reading these Christ letters, I mean, really, all those times I was struggling, that was me. Yeah, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with you created with your thoughts and your feelings. That's the two energy of creation.
Thoughts and your feelings.
Your thought represents the electricity, your feeling represents magnetism. Your thought represents your father, your the thought represents your father, your emotions, your feeling represents your mother.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is. We are electromagnetic beings. And when those two come together, something's gonna create.
It
Whether
has
it's
to.
has to,
It
whether
has
it's
to.
whether it's good or bad, something
It
when
has
those
to.
two
Yeah.
come together, something's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
created.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yep. And that's what Christ's telling us. Your thoughts and your feeling change the consciousness pattern of created things. And everything is conscious. Everything, your bed, your car, your television. You can tap into anything and manifest it in your universe. So I say conversely, my thinking, when fully cleansed of the twin impulses of ego and fully receptive of the father mother creative power, intelligence,
Intelligence,
love,
love.
would reintroduce the condition of perfect intelligent love. So first Christ saying, listen, you gotta cleanse your thoughts of that twin impulses of ego, those that self, that bonding and rejection, holding on to things we don't need and avoiding things in our lives, creating an illusion of security and privacy.
Yep.
And when our thoughts is fully cleansed of that twin impulses of ego and fully receptive of the father mother creative power, intelligence and love, that's the same thing, would reintroduce the condition of perfect intelligent love. Therefore, a condition previously made imperfect as a result of an imperfect thought could be brought back into a condition of wholeness again
Wholeness again.
by changing ego attitudes and
And
thoughts
so
to
it's
those of
unconditional
unconditional love.
love. Exactly what you said yesterday.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, can be
Mm.
changed. So no matter where we find ourselves today,
It's changeable.
it's changeable. Because guess what? We didn't have the knowledge that our thoughts and our emotions, our negative thoughts, our ego thought, let's say ego, our ego thoughts, our ego emotions was creating that reality for us. And how do we change that? We when our ego is coming up and it's not of unconditional love, when that thoughts is coming up and it's not of unconditional love, when we feel that emotion and it's not of unconditional love, that's how
Mhm.
we know.
Mhm.
So when we're thinking something, it has to be unconditional love. If
Yeah.
it's not,
Mhm.
it's of the ego. When it's unconditional love, it's of the Father, Mother, creative power.
Mhm.
That's how we create the world we want to live in. That's how we get the blessings we want.
Mhm. That is your environment.
It is.
Mhm.
This is it. There's no other way. This is it. Let our thoughts be of unconditional love. When we're tempted, and I know it's not easy, when we're tempted to think things, I know,
My goodness.
I
Trouble.
And I'm just driving on the road and people do some things and I'm like, oh my God, I said pig in
Trouble.
I call someone pig in my thought. I'm like, oh my
Trouble.
God.
Sometimes worse than that.
Yep, yep. Let listen, it's a process because we're born in sin and shaped in iniquity, you know. We were shaped like this. We were shaped born to be selfish. Everything is so individual, you know. And this make you think back in the day with our grandparents and great grandparents, they shared more. They had a more sense of community than we do now. And then we think our lives are better than theirs. We think we're living in a life. They had a life of love. I remember my grandmother, she shared everything, you know. They
Well,
shared.
I think it's because they didn't have abundance. Like now everything is available. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they lived a life of unconditional love more than we do.
Yeah, they was very content. That's true.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
They were,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they lived a life of unconditional love than we do. Very rarely they were egotistical and they had a sense of community. You know, we
True.
couldn't,
That's true. That's
yeah,
true. Yeah, because
yeah,
because the ego, some people can live in next door to you for 20 years and never say hello.
yes. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
like I experienced in Virginia this sense of community. I lived in Virginia just for a couple of years and
Mm-hmm.
people don't have to know you to say hi, good morning, how is your day today?
But you know what they call Virginia? They call Virginia the state for lovers.
Oh, real? Yes, they do. That's on the
Yeah,
license plate.
yeah,
Yeah, that's on the license plate. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. They stay for lovers. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. The state for lovers. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And yeah, people, you walk out your house. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? Good morning. Yeah, yeah.
And the ego be like, don't speak to them.
I
No,
know.
what you
I'm like,
speak
and
for?
your ego be like, I don't know you coming up
I
from,
don't even know you. Right,
I don't
right.
know, I don't know you coming from up
Exactly.
north where
Mhm.
we didn't do that. You'd be
Mhm.
like, oh, really? And yeah, then you get used to it. Then you start doing it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So he says, therefore, a condition previously made imperfect as a result of imperfect thought could be
Mm.
brought back into a condition of wholeness again by changing ego attitudes and thoughts of to those of unconditional love.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
why, if you listen to us, why we like this? Because we learned that our thoughts create our reality. Our thoughts,
Reality.
yes.
Mhm.
So wherever we find ourselves today, wherever you're listening, if you're listening now, if you find yourself listening later or at another time, and if you're in bliss, if you're we talk about negativity a lot, but if you're experiencing bliss, if you're experiencing everything good in your life, enjoy it because you did the work. You did the work. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. It was you because you created your reality.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
you created your reality. If you're comfortable, if you find your place of comfort and peace, enjoy every moment of it because you did it. You did it. And wherever we find ourselves now, where we the Bible said for a lack of knowledge, people perish.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, for lack of knowledge. We didn't know the role our thoughts played and our emotions and our ego into the situations we find ourselves today in this place of lack uh, uh, and and a place of mistrust and depression. Listen, as this is saying today, that imperfect thought that brought you into that possession in that place where you are today
Mhm.
could bring you back out of that condition, bring you back into that condition of
Oh,
wholeness
yeah.
again,
Oh. Mhm.
just by changing your thoughts to those of unconditional love.
Yep.
This is the secret. This is
Exactly
why
what you
we,
said.
yeah,
Yep. Exactly.
yeah,
Yep.
sis, this is why we go to church. This is what we're looking for. This is why we go to church. This is what this $1 billion industry, maybe $1 trillion industry is
But
about.
they're not teaching that in church.
Yeah, but this is what Christ wanted us to know.
Yeah, but they're not teaching it though.
No, they're not.
They're only teaching bring your tithes and your offering.
And
Bring your
this is,
tithes and offering.
and
Hey,
this, if they're not teaching this, that that's up to them because this is what everything is about. This is what
even
everything is about.
even the ones teaching, they have ego.
Oh, oh, we're gonna
Eh,
leave that because we're gonna focus
eh,
on ourselves because
yeah.
listen, we've been there too long. We've been on that road, my sister, a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now
Uh-huh.
here we are. We're gonna walk into the thoughts of unconditional love. Even the days we fail, we're gonna get up and we're gonna start again. This is where we're gonna leave until we pick up on Saturday. I just really wanted to read this paragraph right here.
Bring it
All
back
the
into wholeness.
wholeness, isn't that a powerful?
Yep.
Bring
Bring it
us
back
back
into
to
wholeness.
wholeness again
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
by changing our ego attitudes and thoughts to those of unconditional love.
But you know what they always say about that? Oh, I can love her from a distance. I just love him from a distance. Eh?
Yeah.
The
But
ego be
it,
like,
yeah. Yeah, but we can love from a distance. Once we know that we don't have any ill feeling, listen, I speak to you. We're iron. We are good. We are good. And if I see you, I'm gonna love you, and I'm gonna be blessed. I could give you my heart. We just don't. We're not gonna leave any holes for our ego to strive. Those people we haven't spoken to in a while. Listen, we just gotta forgive them. We gotta forgive them. And what they used to say too in church, um, that don't get, they'll come back and hurt you. Listen, when you're in that place of unconditional love, they're not gonna come here to earth, come back and hurt you because you're gonna see them from a mile coming.
yeah, because you walking in state of wholeness.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, my
Mm-hmm.
sister. How they
Mm-hmm.
gonna do me the way they did me before?
No, they
That's
can't.
just they
Mm-mm.
can't. That's just something the ego put up. So listen, oh, I'm not gonna forgive because they're gonna come back and hurt. No, they're not. No, they are not. No. If you allow them, unless you go back to in your imperfect way of
And
living
yeah, with your thoughts, with
with your
those
thoughts.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Mm-hmm.
go back down there, yeah, they'll come down there.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, but not if you stay in your wholeness, as you said, my sister. If you stay in your wholeness, then what? You're gonna rub off on them.
It's
They're gonna
true.
know. They're gonna know you're coming. They're
It's
gonna know
true.
you.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Because this wholeness, listen, it affects everyone around you. Wherever you go,
It's
wherever
like it
you
rub off
go,
on you, huh? It rubs
yeah,
off.
it rubs off. They listen.
Uh-huh.
It is so powerful that this is where you see in the Bible they said someone passed by and people was healed because the energy, my sister, you're walking in
Mm-hmm.
wholeness. Ooh, that energy.
Yeah.
I think someone said it's 9 feet wide. What? That love energy, that unconditional love energy.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Don't mess with that. Don't mess with that. Don't mess with it. Ooh. All right, my
Mm.
sister. I
This
got
is
notes
good.
to write. Yeah,
This is
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I couldn't wait to talk about this today because this just give us a blueprint and how to get back into our wholeness, you know, how to get
Mm-hmm.
back to who we are,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, because we all have our struggles in different way. And as I said before, that's okay. If you find yourself in a good place, oh my gosh, don't let your ego think nothing or anyone think nothing. Enjoy because you create your reality.
Yeah, but we get in that place of struggle because of ego.
Yeah, yeah, because of our ego. Yeah, because it's like our ego is controlling our thoughts.
Yes. And
Yeah.
it's always want to be in control.
Oh, yeah, because it's the self. If you see how people drive on the way, you're going on the ramp and it's one lane and they're trying to overtake you coming onto the highway. That's all ego.
Yes, it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
this ego just wants self to be first. You to be recognized, you to be lifted up. You know, we've been seeing that for so many years on this earth, no matter where we go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh, Yeah,
Everywhere. Everywhere you go.
everywhere you go,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere
Mm-hmm.
you go. So it's our job, if you hear this message, to be the light in this world. Hmm? We are the light of the world. That's the light. Light is energy. Hey, that's a
Mm,
different
mm.
day for another thing.
Yeah, we are energy.
We are.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
are. We are. We are. All right. Thank
All right, this
you.
is powerful. Yes,
It is.
I have to listen to it again. Eh?
That's why
Yes.
I'll read it again. I'll always read it again. But I've been so busy yesterday and today.
All
But
is well.
yeah, thank you, sis. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for those who
Thank
joined
you.
online. Thank you, Father, Mother God. We thank you always for your bonding and rejection spirit within us. Father, we pray for strength to allow this unconditional love, this wholeness to envelope everything that we hope to be, all we are, everything we hope to be. And Father, we pray not just for me and my sister on the skyline, all the listeners, Lord, in our household, in our community, in our state, in the world at large, Father. Let us help us to spread that unconditional love and know it helps us to be in wholeness, one with you again. Father, we thank you. Thank you for your blessing today, always. We always pray for those in need. Always, always, always. We ask, Father, that somehow you may provide for those who are looking up to you tonight, Father, with needs and needs and needs more than what we could even ask or think. So we put everyone in your hands and we give you all the honor, the glory, and the praise. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
We are
sis. God
grateful.
bless. Yes, we
Yes.
are. Yes, gratitude, gratitude. Yes. God bless, sis. We'll see you on the weekend.
Yes. Yes. Have a restful night.
You too. You too.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. Bye bye.
Bye.